Yo, what's up again there, guys? Blaine here, the 3 Topics Gamer, and I have a fun little rankings video to share with you guys today. Now, recently, a good friend of mine at work actually showed me how I could actually download and start replaying some of the older Pokemon games. It might be a little hard to see, but yeah, I'm replaying Silver, and just randomly, I thought, wouldn't it be cool if I did a ranking video of all of the gym leaders between my 2 favorite regions? Because as a Pokemon Bloomer fan, meaning I was actually playing Pokemon in the 90s when it first came to America, my 2 favorite regions to explore are obviously Kanto and Johto, with the Johto region being my personal favorite period in Pokemon. At least I would say that's like kind of the peak of my enjoyment of the franchise. So for this particular video, I'm going to do a ranking of all of the Kanto gym leaders first, and then next week I'm going to upload a video going over my ranking of the Johto gym leaders. So if you do happen to enjoy this video by the end, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. You track me on my future videos. And remember, if you guys have any ideas for future reactions, rankings, or just discussion videos in general, please let me know in the comments down below. Now, before I start, I would just like to let you guys know that I think everyone's list when it comes to the Kanto gym leaders is very much going to be dependent on your starter Pokemon. And always, this is going to be based off of the Pokemon Red game. I know there's variations of like blue and yellow, and then there's leaf green and fire red, but we're sticking strictly to the OG red. And my starter Pokemon was always Bulbasaur. So now that you guys know what my starter is, this is how I would rank the primary 8 gym leaders from easiest to hardest. Alright, starting at the bottom of the list with Bulbasaur as my starter, the easiest Pokemon gym leader to take on is the first one in the form of Brock. All he has is a lowly Geodude and an unimpressive Onix. With my Bulbasaur set with Leech Seed and Vine Whip, a couple of Vine Whips would be enough to take it down. By this period of time, I probably would have captured a Pidgey and evolved into a Pidgeotto. I would have done the same with Caterpie, evolving into a Metapod, then a Butterfree. But Butterfree and Pidgeotto won't be needed. Once again, Bulbasaur, couple Vine Whips be enough to knock out these 2 Pokemon, which is why Brock, the Rock gym leader, is the easiest to take down on this list. Taking the number 7 spot is the next gym leader in the form of Misty, the water Pokemon gym leader. Similar to Brock, this is a job that my Bulbasaur could pretty much handle all by itself. A combination of Leech Seed and Vine Whips would be more than enough to take out her Staryu and Starmie. I would like to note that by this point, I probably would have captured a Magikarp and would use this battle to get it some side experience in order to get to level 20 in order to evolve it into a Gyarados. But again, much like Brock, this isn't going to be a pretty difficult fight. Bulbasaur, Vine Whip, Leech Seed combination would be more than enough to take this gym leader down, which is why Misty takes number 7 spot on my list. Taking the number 3 spot is Erika, or Erika as some people like to pronounce it, the grass Pokemon gym leader. Her team is comprised of a Victory Bell, a Tangela, and a Vileplume. By this point, I would have certainly have captured a Growlithe and would have level grinded it a bit, but I think my 2 primary Pokemon that I would use for this battle is a mixture of Pidgeotto and Growlithe. I think those 2 alone could pretty much handle these 3. If I need to, I would fall back on my Venusaur, and I would certainly try to keep Gyarados, as I would probably have by this point, out as best I can. So yeah, pretty sure Pidgeotto and Growlithe will be enough to take these 3 down. As for why Erika takes the number 6 spot on my list. Taking the number 5 spot is going to have to go to the 7th gym leader in the form of Blaine, the Fire Pokemon gym leader. By this point, my team that I will be taking to the Elite Four in the Pokemon Elite would have been established. My team would have been comprised of Venusaur, Arcanine, Jolteon, Lapras, Snorlax, and Pidgeot. I would say my Lapras and Snorlax are going to take the lead here, as Blaine is bringing a Growlithe, a Ponyta, a Rapidash, and an Arcanine. Pretty sure Growlithe and Ponyta are going to be pretty easy to take down. Rapidash and Arcanine could provide somewhat of a challenge, but I don't think that's something that my Lapras, Snorlax, and Jolteon combination couldn't take care of. This isn't necessarily an easy battle, but it's not too hard. It's a pretty comfortable fight that I feel going into with this team, and I think we can get the win without needing a second try, which is why Blaine takes number 5 spot on my list. Taking the number 4 spot is going to have to go to Koga, the poison Pokemon gym leader. Now, his team isn't really all that impressive either, as he's bringing 2 Coffins, a Muck, and a Weezing. By this point, I probably would still have my Gyarados. I wouldn't have swapped it out for a Lapras, and I think team-wise, I think my Growlithe, Pidgeot and Jolteon are going to take the lead here. I think the only thing that might give me a little bit of difficulty is maybe the Muck or Wheezing, but the two Coughings will go down pretty easily. So this is kind of the point where I think these Pokemon battles are a little bit more balanced, but I'm pretty sure I could handle it without too much difficulty. So that's why Koga is going to take the number 4 spot on my list. Taking the number 3 spot is the 8th and final gym leader, Giovani, who just so happens to be the leader of Team Rocket, and he is bringing Rock, Ground, and Power. Even with my final team that I have set going up against the Elite Four, we are in for a dog fight. He is bringing a Rhyhorn, a Dodrio, a Nidoqueen, a Nidoking, and a Rhydon. This, my people, this is a dog fight. I would think my primary Pokemon I would probably try to fall back on is my Venusaur, Lapras, and Snorlax. But even with that team, I would not be surprised if I end up losing 2, possibly 3 Pokemon in order to get this job done. But I would feel pretty comfortable that we could take him on. He is bringing the most amount of Pokemon for a gym leader with 5, so yeah, you really need to set up your team the right way and just have a little bit of luck in order to get through this fight. But it is rather tough if you don't know what you're doing or you have the wrong team configuration or if things don't go your right way. So yeah, that's why Giovani, the final gym leader, is going to take the number 3 spot on my list. Taking the number 2 spot on this list is going to have to go to Lieutenant Serge, the Thunder Pokemon Gym Leader. And this is the part of the list that we've officially entered the I am screwed era. Because the team I've constructed here would be an Ivysaur, a Butterfree, a Pidgeotto, and a Magikarp that I may have evolved to a Gyarados at level 20. And sadly, this is a very, very bad team to go up against Lieutenant Serge. He is bringing a Voltorb, a Pikachu, and a Raichu. Not only is this man have a speed advantage over me, but just a Thunder Shock or a Thunderbolt could easily knock out 3 of my Pokemon in the form of Butterfree, Pidgeot, or a Gyarados. Now, I'm a firm believer that when it comes to Pokemon Gym Leaders, there is a right way to play this game and a wrong way to play this game. Now, I could have just easily have picked up a Geodude or picked up a Diglett and let them contend with these Electro-type Pokemon. But I'm the kind of person who wants a challenge. If I'm going to take a Pokemon, it is going to be on my team for a good amount of time. I don't just get one Pokemon, use it for one battle, then get rid of it. So this is the team I'm sticking with. We're going to have to do some serious level grinding. Definitely need some luck. Hopefully Butterfree can put 2, maybe all 3 of Lieutenant Surge's Pokemon to sleep before swapping out with a Gyarados and Ivysaur, and pray they don't wake up. But if they don't, this is definitely the type of gym leader that will take 2 or 3 tries on my part in order to officially beat this guy. So yeah, Lieutenant Surge is well deserving of the number 2 spot on my list. Taking the number 1 spot, and without question the hardest gym leader for me to deal with in the Kanto region, is Sabrina, the Psychic Pokemon gym leader. Look, folks, I'm just going to come out and say it. I don't know how to build a good team to take her out on the first try. It's never happened. I mean, she is bringing a Kadabra, a Mr. Mime, a Venomoth, and an Alakazam. By this point, I just don't know what to do. By this point, there's only 3 types of Pokemon that even worked well against Psychic, and that is Bug, Ghost, and Dark. Well, there's only one Ghost-type Pokemon that you can really pick up in this game in the form of a Ghastly or a Hunter, or if you're lucky, you can evolve into a Gengar. And Bug-type, the only Bug Pokemon I would ever capture is a Butterfree, which I would have released by this time in the game because I would have no need for it. But again, this is purely a power technique. I am simply trying to overwhelm Sabrina with pure, brewed strength and power. And most times it doesn't actually work. This fight will take me 3 or 4 times. I have never been able to beat Sabrina with any construction of team on the first or second tries. It typically goes, I take her on the first time, I lose, I spend a couple hours level grinding everyone up 2 levels. I take her on a second time, we lose again, I go back, level grind for 2 more levels for the next hour or 2. Maybe if I'm lucky I beat her on the 3rd, usually happens by the 4th, but again, I just do not know how to construct a good team to take her down on the first try. And don't try to tell me how to do it in the comment section, because odds are it will not work. But without question, Sabrina is the only gym leader that I go into this fight knowing that I probably will end up losing, and it will take me a couple of tries to a few tries before I finally get the job done. And that is the making of a really difficult gym leader to take down in the Kanto region, which is why, from my personal experience, Sabrina is by far the hardest gym leader to take down in the Kanto region. And that is my ranking of all of the Kanto gym leaders from my personal experience having Bulbasaur as my starter, from easiest to hardest. Now, I would really be interested to know, how would you rank the gym leaders from easiest to hardest for your experience? And also let me know, which starter Pokemon would you have picked? Let me know in the comments down below. And remember, thank you guys for watching. You're awesome, and I'll see you guys next time.